Is Prince Harry a useful idiot for despotic regimes?
Well, he's gone to China for his company Travelist, which is a company that supports supposedly sustainable travel. And he's gone to give a keynote speech, a bit of which I presume is what we just heard. But I mean, does Harry know anything about China? Does he know anything about its human rights, values? And did he actually know that his father was in Canada opening the Canadian Parliament? One begins to wonder, I mean, how.
Welcome to Star Spotlight. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for your daily insight into the lives of our favorite couple, Harry and Meghan, and the royal family. Prince Harry and King Charles have both been making headlines lately, but for very different reasons. Their recent travels highlight a striking contrast, not just in public reception, but in approach, tone, and relevance. And that contrast speaks volumes about the future of the monarchy. Charles's trip to Canada was marked by cool indifference, and in some places, outright rejection. Quebec's National Assembly made headlines by voting unanimously to sever ties with the monarchy. This wasn't a spontaneous rebellion, but a deliberate and unified declaration. The monarchy no longer resonates with the values of modern Quebec. As Charles continued his engagements, protesters lined the streets, holding signs that read "Not My King." Canadian media outlets didn't ignore the mood. Coverage widely reflected a growing sense of detachment, questioning what role, if any, the monarchy still plays in national life. The king's visit served as a subtle but sharp reminder that times have changed. The institution that once symbolized power and stability now struggles to connect with the people it's meant to represent. But this isn't entirely about Charles himself. It's about a broader decline, an institution that's showing its age and its reluctance to evolve. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, Prince Harry was receiving a completely different reception in China. Representing Travelist, Harry was seen engaging with locals, participating in cultural exchanges, and even trying to speak Mandarin. He ditched the formalities, opting instead for a hands-on, people-first approach that felt more modern than monarchical. He visited community projects, met with environmental leaders, and immersed himself in the everyday life of those he came to meet. Local media praised him, not just for showing up, but for showing humility and genuine curiosity. While Charles seemed weighed down by tradition and legacy, Harry appeared light on his feet, approachable, and, perhaps most importantly, authentic. This contrast in reception couldn't be more stark. It's not about Harry stealing the spotlight. It's about which version of leadership the world is responding to. Charles represents the monarchy as it's always been, ceremonial, distant, unchanged. Harry, on the other hand, represents something different, a royal who stepped away, who shows up not with entitlement but with empathy. But this is bigger than one king or one prince. The monarchy as a whole is facing a crisis of relevance. Its centuries-old traditions are increasingly out of step with a world that values transparency, equality, and connection. Carefully scripted public appearances, inherited privilege, and institutional formality feel more and more alien to modern audiences. Countries like Canada are no longer shy about questioning the monarchy's role. And it's not just about symbolism. It's about governance, values, and identity. The problem isn't isolated to Charles. It's systemic. The monarchy continues to operate as if it's above scrutiny, while the rest of the world is demanding accountability and evolution. Even the monarchy's cost has become harder to justify. During times of economic hardship, lavish ceremonies and royal expenditures seem tone-deaf to many. People are asking, what exactly are we paying for? So, what are we really seeing here? Not just two royals with different approaches, but two visions of what public engagement can look like. One remains wrapped in tradition, struggling to maintain relevance. The other is carving a new path, one that resonates with a wider and more diverse audience. Prince Harry's popularity in China isn't proof that he's perfect, But it does reveal something the rest of the monarchy may be missing: a willingness to change. Harry's success doesn't diminish the monarchy, it highlights its failure to adapt. Blaming him for overshadowing the king misses the point entirely. The real question is, can the monarchy evolve, or will it cling to a version of itself that the world is increasingly walking away from? That's all for today's episode of Star Spotlight. If you found this breakdown thought-provoking, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement helps us keep the conversation going and uncover the untold stories behind the public images we see every day. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care and keep questioning the status quo.